Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you about Fairy Tail chapter 495, I'm Hungry as Hell. And this chapter also commemorates the 10th anniversary of Fairy Tail. And you know, for a 10th anniversary chapter, I think this was fun in terms of like a character that shows up every like 10 months. So yeah, actually before I talk about the awesomeness that is Gildarts showing up, if you look at the 10th anniversary color page and you look towards the lower left hand corner, you'll actually see that Gildarts is right there behind Kana. So his appearance was already kind of spoiled if you were keeping a really good eye on that cover page. But yeah, let's actually talk about the chapter. The chapter overall, it's an okay chapter. Really, I think the beginning of the chapter was a bit of a waste in terms of progression, just because it was a little bit that just affirmed that all the characters are kind of in for this. They're kind of reminding us of what are the big things that are at stake here. Happy has his little moment saying that he's not going to let Natsu die. So it's actually going to be really interesting to see whether or not Happy in particular is going to do something that won't be totally cringeworthy or totally unreasonable. Because we all know Happy has done that before. Him surviving the bombs and the explosions from Jackal way back when was ridiculous. And him not actually leveling up while he was on that time skip is also very ridiculous. But overall, we get that moment with Happy, and we get other little character moments just with Gray and Natsu. Really, the beginning of that chapter just served to remind us or just affirm that the Fairy Tail Wizards are coming. And then when they actually start their assault, they're of course going after Mooks. I guess it's just really hyping up people, and then all the other Fairy Tail members start coming in. The big surprise in all of this was actually that that Yukino and Angel showed up as well, but I guess that's to be expected. That probably means we're going to get all the guilds showing up at this point, which is alright. It is a total war right now, so that's very much appreciated. It's just going to be interesting to see how all the characters come together to take on different enemies. I would love situations where it's multiple characters against one Spriggan 12, because at the very least, it at least tells us that the Spriggan 12 were enough of a threat that you needed to have multiple characters that you were aware of to actually take them on. And we kind of get that with God Serena, although God Serena is kind of just destroying people. He pops out of nowhere, pops out of the 8 dragons. That was a pretty cool moment. He comes down and he's just kind of throwing all his powers around. And Natsu, of course, eats some of the fire. So that was a pretty nice little thing. And we get those panels of everyone just kind of reacting to the fact that this guy has 8 dragons. So overall, just because he was attacking so many characters at one go, I thought it was cool. But then we get the regular Fairy Tail thing of one character showing up and being able to nullify it with Gildarts. And overall, like, Gildarts' entrance, is about time he showed up. It's just a matter of time till he was going to show up. So this was nice. I guess this is a nice time to have it. And it makes sense that you're having Gildarts go up against the person who was technically the strongest mage on the continent. Although, you know, this moment is really just there to solidify that Gildarts is a monster, right? Like, that's all that moment's really there for. It's just to solidify, like, yeah, Gildarts can probably kick ass. But it really does it feels kind of cheap just with the way it was executed, and the fact that this isn't the real God Serena, even though the power itself seems to actually be able to mimic a person that died's abilities pretty well. So in that regard, you know, I'm not really sure how I feel about Gildarts' entrance. I think it could have been done better, but I think overall it's cheap just because he isn't fighting the actual Serena. But that's just kind of how I feel about that particular matter. Regardless, other things in the chapter that were pretty okay. Actually, no, that's pretty much it. A good chunk of it was used up at the beginning with Natsu's group kind of being cool and kind of telling each other that they're going to be okay. Then next part was all the Fairy Tail members showing up. And then it was God Serena's assault. And then it just ended with Gildarts. Really, Gildarts is like the hypest moment of the chapter. But yeah. I do think it's just weird how all the Fairy Tail members showed up at the same time. I mean, they must have been moving through the night, but still, that also felt kind of cheap. But it was going to happen. And hey, they're already facing off against one of the Spriggan 12. So overall, I'm kind of excited for next week. I know that Gildarts is probably going to do pretty well against God Serena. I mean, he nullified the attack right there, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to do really well next week. It will be interesting to see. I just kind of want to see when all the other guilds show up, and I still want to see Urza's meeting with Eileen. I think that's going to be the really interesting one. But But yeah, peeps, let me know what you thought about this chapter. Are you hyped about guild arts coming back? I mean, it's exciting, but it's just, you know, I think it could have been done better. But hey, he had a pretty excellent line coming back, so, you know, at least we had that. Anyway, peeps, let me know what you think, and till next time, have a good day.